Okay, this is the second video for the light filter. Before I start this video, just a quick warning. You may hear some cat noises during this video because my cat is in the room, so apologies for that. Okay, so let's get started. This is a bit more complex one. I showed you the video before that showed you a cutout version. This one it's called a repeat pattern, and we just use circles and then we add them into the shape. So to start off with, we're going to go to on shape here, and then we're going to go to create a new document. So we'll call this one light filter 2. Okay. And we're going to use the dimensions for the smaller filter. I did say there was 2 dimensions and they'll be found on the drawings. So we're going to work on the front plane today. So take off the top, click the eye there, and then take off the right. And then we're just going to go to sketch, and then going to go to front. And then press N to spin it to the front. The first thing we need to do is we need to draw the rectangle to the correct shape. So center point rectangle is important for this part. We draw from the center. So click here, pull it out, and the sizes we want for this one are 48 across. Oops, need to click mouse first. 48 across, press enter, and then we're going to go for 150 up. Enter. So that's our area there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the frame. Easy to do that. Just go to the offset tool, click that, and you want to select each line you want to offset. So click that line, click that line. Don't worry about it being above the line to begin with. We can adjust that afterwards and then click that line. So currently we've got a frame around it. We need to change it so it's on the inside. So we just click the arrow, which flicks it on the inside. And then we just check the dimension is 5. 5 should be okay for what we're doing today. So then we're happy with that sketch. And then what we can do is we can just quickly put an extrude onto there to give it some thickness. So I want to extrude that bit, and then it creates my frame. Set the distance to depth 3mm because it is 3mm acrylic we are using, and then click OK. So there we have our frame ready to draw into. So to do the circles, we need to create a new sketch. So again, sketch onto there, and I want to sketch onto this front plane. And then I'm going to, it's already facing me, so I don't need to press the N on the keyboard. What I need to do now is I need to create some construction lines to help me get things in the right places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Q on the keyboard. I'm going to draw a line straight to the middle. So to find the middle, I just hover around here and I see that little symbol, a line with a dot in the middle. That means it's a center point. I click that, and go through the origin point and then straight down to the bottom, like so. Okay, like that. Then what I'm going to do is I need to find the midpoint between these 2 points here and here. Because this is a full line, it hasn't recognized that break. I need to draw another construction line. So I'm going to press Q on the construction on the keyboard. I'm going to click my line tool, and I'm just going to draw a line from here to here. Okay, and then press escape. And now when I hover over here with another construction line, so again, line, press Q, it finds the midpoint of this line for me, which is there. Again, the line and the little dot signify that. So with that, I'm just going to draw down about as far as that. That's all I need for this point here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle. So I'm going to go to a center point circle, and I'm going to draw my circle on this line. So it's actually touching the line. I can see there that the sign comes up, and that means it's tangent to the line. Not tangent, it's coincident to the line, which means it's touching it. So I'm going to click that and then draw my circle. And I want my circle to be touching the edge of the frame. So on the left-hand side there, I can see that it's touching the edge of the frame. I actually want it to, it's actually hanging over a bit of the frame. That's important. So I'm going to click that once, and I'm just going to round it up to 22, just to make it easy. So it's touching there, which is what I want. Okay, that's the important bit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a circle inside of that as well. And the circle inside doesn't have to touch this edge. That doesn't have to do that. So center point circle, and I'm going to again, it doesn't matter the size of the circle. You can have a bigger one, smaller one. I'm probably going to go for 17 probably. I'm just going to type in 17 there. 17, press enter. Okay, so I've got my two circles. That's all done. It's all correct. Now I can delete these lines. I don't need these anymore. So I can delete that one. And then I'm going to delete this one just to keep the drawing nice and tidy. I might leave this one here just for reference. Actually, I'm going to delete that one. Don't need that one anymore. So I've got my circle drawn. Now what I need to do is I need to create a pattern. So to do that, it's easy. All I do is I go along the top here, and if I click this one that says transform and the little arrow key, I can go to linear pattern. And the way this works, it's really simple. I just click the sketches I want to pattern. So I click that one, and it puts 3 across to the right. And I click that, and it puts none up to the top. And I click that one, and it also clicks 3 across to the right. Okay, so you can see now I've got it mimicked 3 times across here, and you can see I've got some dimensions here. So first thing is if I want less than 3, I just click here. So it says 3 times. If I click 6 and press enter, oh, brilliant. Apologies for that. The browser is refreshing. Okay, let's just pause the video. Okay, so we're recording again. So apologies for that. The browser just decided to refresh. So as I was saying, this little 3 times means that how many times you've got the sketch. So if I typed in 6 there, it would create me 6 that way, which I don't need because I'm not doing it that big. So I'm going to just go for 2. That's all I want at this stage. So I've got 2 here. Now what's also good as well is you'll notice that it gives me the distance between the 2 centers. So at the moment it's 25. So I want these 2 lines here to overlap. So I'm just going to do a bit of trial and error here. Sometimes you just have to do that. Let's see what 15 looks like. Okay, 15's too much. Let's try 20. Okay, that looks about right. So I'm looking for just an overlap here. Okay, that's what I want, an overlap there. I'm not too concerned about these being different just yet. It's just that overlap I want there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this. It says ×1. So again, if I put that to 6, let's see what happens. It puts 6 above. Okay, which is the wrong direction. So to change the direction, all I do is I just click the arrow once, and then it flips them in the other direction. So what I want to do now is I want to repeat what I've done in the other direction. So we can see here that the distance was 20 going this way. And we've looked at this center here to this center here, it's 25. So if I change that to 20, it means that they're going to overlap. Okay, so we've got 20 by 20. Okay, so they're all overlapping. And I probably think I could have room for one more in there. So at the moment I've got 6. I'm just going to double click that, and I'm going to do it ×7. Okay, so you can see it's in there. And that's all good. So I'm happy with that now. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get this sketch in the right place. We could really do with getting it in the center somewhere. So let's count how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the center would be 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So these here would be the center. Okay, we're almost there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the sketch. I'm going to move the sketch off my drawing. So to do that, all I do is a right click and drag a box around the sketch, and it glows orange. Then I just make sure that I'm on here. I hover over it and right click, and I look for this transform sketch entities. So we click that once, and this little arrow appears. So the first thing we need to do is just click this arrow here, and then just drag the sketch out of the way. Just click the arrow and move the sketch like that. And that's the first step. And just click the left click, and then it'll be moved across. What we need to do now is we now need to find the center point of this sketch to be able to line it up with the center point of here. So what we do is we go back to our line tool and then press Q for construction, and we just simply draw from here across to here. Okay, because that is the center. If you think about it, we've got 1, 2, 3 this side, 1, 2, 3 that side. This would be the center. Then what I need to do is I need to find the center going the other way. So again, if we just zoom in, that's pretty easy to do because we've got circles that are sort of intersecting each other. So I press the Q key, making sure it's a construction line. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally draw from, let's have a look, what's a good place to draw from? Probably here. Okay, straight down and through, making sure it's parallel, nice and make horizontal. So we click that, and this is important. Make sure it is a construction line. So click the orange line there and press Q, and it'll turn to construction line. So now we have like a little target in the center, which we can use to line up with that. So when we're moving it back, all we need to do now is we need to just do as we did before, highlight it all, like that. And then you just right click and go to transform sketch entities. Now, what happens is this little movement tool is down here. And what we need to do is we need to move it, this sort of arrow left and arrow right and arrow upwards, we need to move it to the top. So to move the arrow, all we do is we just click this little circle here, and we can move this arrow. We need to move that into the center point we've just drawn. Okay, so we can move it from the center. So I'm going to zoom in and just double check. Yep, I moved it there. So that means now I can move that from the center. If it was down there, it'll move it from the corner, which wouldn't be very good. So all we're going to do now is we're going to move it across. Okay, remember to click the arrow when you move it across. Don't try and click the shapes. So move it across. Okay, you can see it's locked into my construction line if I do that. Can you see that's just fitted in nice? So that's done it that way. And then what I need to do is I just need to get this dot to line up with this dot. And then literally move that up arrow, and then there we go, it's in the center. So now I'm confident that this has been drawn in the center, and we'll just double check in that everything's overlapping. We need that overlap. Everything's overlapping. Okay, looks good. Now there's one more thing we need to do. It's a bit tedious, but it needs to be done. So we're going to get the scissors tool, and we just need to get rid of the overlaps, not on the frame, but where the circles overlap in the center. So again, take a bit of time with this because you don't want to snip out the wrong thing. If you do, just go undo and it undoes it. So I'm just going to snip here, okay, here, here, and here. Okay, and then I'm going to snip here. I'm taking my time with it, watching what I'm doing to make sure I don't make any mistakes. If I made a mistake like that, for example, okay, I go, oh, oops, and just go undo. And it puts it back for me. So snip it there, snip it there. I'm just going to pause the video because you don't. So you can see now that that took me a few minutes to do. And you can see what I've done is all those bits that overlapped here, 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 and here, I've taken them all away. So you can see this. I just have to hide that. You can see what I'm left with. Okay, that's the sketch. Oh, I've left one there. So I left a couple actually, so it's just worth checking. So again, I'm just going to tidy those up. Okay, like that and like that. So I've created a pattern there of using circles. Let's put the part back on. Now what we want to do is we want to add this sketch to this extrude by extruding it and adding it, not taking it away, extruding and adding it. So to do that, just going to go into a different view so you can see that. Okay, we're going to go to extrude. We're going to, it's already on add. Okay, it's the wrong direction, so I'm going to flip the arrow. Okay, and then I'm going to change it to match the other one, which is 3, like that. Okay, and then we can see that what we have is our panel done, and it's all nice and neat, and it's all nice and centered through this center point here.